Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we celebrate Walt Disney's birthday, chat about our upcoming trip, and give our review of Ralph Breaks the Internet. We cover the latest Disney news and list our Fab Five Disney Heroes. As always, we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick.
Happy December, Adam.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I was hoping you'd never do that.
I did it.
But you did, so here we are.
Take that, Johnny Mathis.
Uh-oh.
Johnny Mathis ain't got nothing on me.
No, truly no.
No, he has everything on me.
Just
actually.
one or two things.
In truth, yeah. Yeah. Happy December to you.
Thank you so very much.
Your house is festively decorated.
It is. The day after we got back from Thanksgiving, we threw up all the lights and the trees.
I just threw up the day after Thanksgiving.
Well, that's where I keep them inside of me.
Oh,
so
okay.
We threw up all the lights and the trees.
You are so magical.
Thank you so much.
In a very gross way.
I try. That's what I go for. Something we wanted to mention at the top of the show is on December 1st, which will have happened just before this episode drops, is World AIDS Day. For those who may not know, World AIDS Day is an opportunity for people worldwide to unite in the fight against HIV, to show support for people living with HIV, and to commemorate those who have died from an AIDS-related illness. It was founded in 1988, and it was the first ever global health day.
It's so important that we draw attention to this day, especially on this podcast, because we're two gay men.
Mm-hmm.
And HIV/AIDS, of course, is kind of inextricably linked to the LGBTQ community.
Sure, there's a long intertwined history of the two.
That's right. But nowadays, of course, it is a global issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And an ongoing one. There's still not a cure.
That's right.
But the great news is that people are living long lives now with medication and with proper treatment.
That's right. The symptoms are very treatable now, and the prevention efforts are a lot more expansive than they were in the 80s, when it was more of an unknown illness, right?
An unknown illness, and quite frankly, a death sentence, not to bring things down too much, but it was a very serious time for our community.
That's right, and a very political issue as well, and it still tends to be today. In fact, our current administration, not again to bring things too down, are currently proposing to cut a lot of funding for it, so awareness is very much needed right now, and a lot of help is needed, both financially and with your time. So though we are talking about this after the fact of World AIDS Day, I think that we can always recognize and bring awareness to it every day of our lives, especially in the gay community, don't you think?
That's right. There are people who are still struggling, especially with the emotional factors of contracting the disease, people who need your help and love and support. So it's always important that we draw attention to these issues and keep awareness alive.
Absolutely. Well said. Anyone out there, and I'm sure many of you out there have someone in your lives who are affected by HIV/AIDS. We are here for you. We are with you. And if you ever want to share your stories with us, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.
Moving from a serious topic to a very lighthearted one, we have a celebration in December.
We sure do.
Coming up very, very soon.
That's right. On December 5th, we are celebrating the birthday of one Walter Elias Disney.
Who's he?
Just a small-known guy known as the man who invented Mickey Mouse.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The man who gave us everything we know and love today.
That's true. Our purpose for waking up every morning.
Thanks, Walt.
Thank you. Born in 1901.
So was I.
I know. I was just going to say a few years your senior.
Yeah, I was wearing a lot of corsets back then.
Mm-hmm. A lot of petticoats.
Yeah, but then the 20s came roaring in and I was all letting it loose.
That's right. Bootlegging it up. Just some quick math. That would make him 117. Well, sorry about that later if it's not correct.
Neither one of us is good at math, but that is a spry 117.
Yeah.
If my calculations are correct, and I believe yours are, 117 years old.
Yeah. How's it feel, Adam?
I'm not going to lie. There's some aches and pains. A lot of Ben Gay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do put the gay in Ben Gay.
A lot of Price is Right.
Oh, a lot of soups.
A lot of soups.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But me and Mickey have never been closer. We're so tight. I've got a few years on him.
You've never been closer in age, you mean? Wah, wah. All kidding aside, happy birthday, Walt Disney. We love you. We thank you tremendously for all of your gifts.
And we're excited for the next 117 years.
That's right. And Adam thanks you for sharing your lunch with him on the schoolyard.
I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. It was salt biscuits, some chewing tobacco, and one rotted carrot.
Oh, and some fresh pressed apples.
Yes.
To drink.
Yeah.
Because the water was no good.
It was no good.
Just kidding. You're not that old, Adam.
I'm 102.
Good for you.
Happy birthday, Uncle Walt. And Patrick, I have a shout out for you.
Scream it out at me.
I'm not going to do that. Not into the microphone.
Okay.
On Instagram, JT is here. Not Justin Timberlake, but JT is here.
Oh.
Sent us a message on Instagram and said how much he was enjoying the podcast. So we really appreciate it, JT.
Oh, thanks, JT.
And JT is a wordsmith, an artist, a pop culture enthusiast, a Disney geek, a film buff, a Broadway baby, and an aspiring retired traveler.
I love that.
All of those things. It sounds like we could be really great friends with JT.
I was going to say, are you actually JT, Adam? Those are all things that maybe you want to be as well. Thanks, JT.
Thank you, JT.
And Justin Timberlake.
Well, why not?
I assume he listens.
He definitely does.
He's got the time.
And speaking of time, Patrick.
Yes?
Do you know what time it almost is?
12 p.m.
No, it's almost time for our vacation.
Oh, my goodness. You're right. It's going to be, 46-ish?
46 days.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. We have our fast passes now, thanks to you.
They're all set. I got up bright and early at 6 a.m., made those fast passes.
Remind me again what we're going on.
Let's see. We got Dinosaur.
Ooh, my favorite.
Avatar Flight of Passage.
Ooh, who'd you bribe to get that one?
Some Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain.
That sounds like a perfect day.
Doesn't it, though? I forget that has such a long title, that ride.
It really does. It has the colon in the middle of it.
I like to call it XBEV. I don't have the time to say the full title.
No, and you're good friends.
We also have Soaring Around the World at Epcot.
Amazing.
Spaceship Earth.
Oh, the best.
Living with the Land, of course, Living with the Land.
I do live with the land.
And at Hollywood Studios, we have the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Terrifying.
Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith.
I mean, who else would it star?
And Slinky Dog Dash.
I've never been on it. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to take you on it. I got us an evening fast pass for that one because I want you to see it with all lit up and beautiful.
Very thoughtful of you.
So, of course, as many of you know, we're going down for the Festival of the Arts in January.
That's right. We've never done that, so we wanted to do it together.
We'll be there for the opening day of it, and it's very, very exciting.
Very exciting. Another first that we're going to be a part of is the Mauska Dance Skit. Nope. I can't even say it.
It's difficult to say.
Mauska Dance It Parade.
There you go.
I did it.
You did it. We're going to experience that on day one. So follow along with us on social media at GDTD Podcast because we will be posting videos. We'll be posting photos. We'll be Mauska dancing like fools.
I'm going to Patrick Skadance it all day long.
That's right.
It's really hard to say, you guys.
So what's our next milestone? It's magic bands. We have to choose our magic bands.
We do have to choose our colors.
That's right.
Wait a minute.
What?
I think that we should do a little game. I think we should let the audience choose our colors for us.
Patrick, that is a genius idea.
I'm a genius.
Oh, you are a genius. We should absolutely let everyone out there listening decide what color magic band Patrick is going to have and what color magic band Adam is going to have.
So you're going to have to go online and look at what the actual colors are because you can't just name a random color like fuchsia.
We'll create a post. We'll create like an Instagram post with all the colors and we'll have people vote.
Now who's the genius?
This guy.
Oh, it was me again. I was going to say.
No, I'm doing thumbs at myself.
Oh, it's
you.
you.
Can't see that at home.
Oh, okay, it's you.
I'm doing thumbs to Adam.
You have two thumbs and pointing to yourself. That guy.
But I'm really looking forward to the trip. We haven't been together in so long, not since 2015.
It's been a while. I wasn't even married yet at the time.
That's true.
Crazy.
We went down for your engagement celebration.
Engagement, birthday, kind of a mix and mingle situation.
That's right. That's right.
Are you looking forward to anything specific on this trip other than, of course, Festival of the Arts?
I did make us a little reservation at the Garden Grill at Epcot, which I've never dined at before.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm super excited to have that experience, and I hear the cinnamon rolls are to die for.
I have heard that. I want to also meet Mickey in his farm farmer's outfit.
So cute.
I know. So cute.
And Chip and Dale and Pluto?
I think Pluto, yes.
And it will be so fun to have that view of living with the land as we circle about.
Something we should try to do while we're there, maybe speaking of living with the land, is the Behind the Seeds tour.
We should absolutely do that. I've only heard good things about it, and it's so affordable.
Yeah. Super educational, really cool behind the scenes look at living with the land. You get to like touch some of the plants and eat some of the cucumbers, I think, that they grow there.
Oh my. Just shove that cucumber right in your mouth.
That's right. You get to like play with some bees, maybe.
I'll bring my EpiPen.
Yeah.
This trip is going to get interesting.
It's going to get bananas. I wonder if we should also maybe check out the Ralph Breaks VR experience that's there now.
I'm curious. I'm real curious about it. Especially since we just saw Ralph Breaks the Internet last night.
We sure did. I was going to say, I feel like I've just seen you one day ago, and I have.
It was just one day.
It's too much time, but that's okay. Here we are.
What were your thoughts on the movie?
You know what? I liked it more than I thought I was going to. I didn't love it as much as the first one. And I surprisingly loved the princess part of it a lot more than I thought I was going to as well. I was a little bit negative about that on a previous episode of like, I don't know. But when it happened, I was like, keep going, more of this, more of this. What about you?
Samesies.
Yeah.
I feel very similar to how you're feeling. For whatever reason, I'm struggling to absorb the story elements from both movies. I remember the overall themes of the film, like friendship, right?
Sure.
Which is such a touching element to the story. But much like the first one, I'm having trouble grasping onto like specific moments. Although I will say in the sequel, Vanellope was just so darn cute. Like, I think 10 times cuter than she was in the first movie.
Yeah, it's true. And she had a really big storyline this time around. She had a pretty big one last time, but the story kind of surrounded her journey this time around. And I really appreciated that.
Of course, it looked fantastic, right? It was beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
What really stood out to me was the music. I loved the kind of like techno-tron style music, especially when they went into the internet.
Yeah.
It really set the mood.
Yeah, and this is not a spoiler, but we were talking... Not that we were talking during the movie, but we kind of were. When they went into the internet for the first time, seemed like a really good replacement for Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, it sure did.
Don't you think?
So fast. Yeah, that would be a really good replacement.
I know. You heard it here first, folks.
There were several moments in the movie where I was like, this could be a ride.
Yeah, the whole theme of the internet is so vast. It was, what you were saying before, was kind of hard to grasp onto, like, what's the storyline right now? I don't really understand. But they did a good job. I just didn't love it as much as I liked the first one.
Of course, there were great vocal performances, right? So we had John C. Reilly as Ralph. We had Sarah Silverman as Vanellope.
That's
again.
right.
Tajari P. Henson as Yes.
She's fantastic. I love her so much.
I loved how many costume changes she had in the movie. Every scene she was in, it was a new costume.
And just as fabulous as the last one.
That's right. And you know, the animators were like, oh, brother, a new costume to animate.
It was like they were animating Cookie, basically, from Empire. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Jack McBrayer from 30 Rock was also in it. Jane Lynch was also in it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, just tons and tons of voices. There were so many Easter eggs in this movie. You would have to watch it 1,000 times to catch half of them.
I don't think this is a spoiler alert. Maybe it's a spoiler alert, but it's been in the previews. When they go to Oh My Disney, it's like I want to watch that frame by frame because there are so many Disney characters in the background.
Yeah.
I saw a Stan Lee at one point.
It was crazy.
There were stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse was apparently somewhere, but I didn't catch him.
There was even just like little artwork in some of the rooms that had referential art of Disney art. It was crazy.
And you're absolutely right about the princesses. I was going into that expecting that we had seen everything there was to see with the princesses. And while we had seen quite a bit from them already, there was still new material, and it was very, very funny.
It was very funny. I loved it. I think they did a fantastic job. It was a hefty goal, again, to like use all of the princesses in one scene, and they did a great job with it, I thought.
One of the biggest LOL moments was when we finally heard Merida speak.
It was a little bit maybe ethnically problematic, but funny nonetheless.
Very, very funny.
Absolutely. And here's what I'll say. Even though we didn't love it as much as we wanted to, joke's on us because it grossed $84 million opening weekend.
And people are really, really loving it. I've seen social media posts with people going nuts for this movie and really having an emotional experience during it and laughing their heads off. So we are in the minority, clearly.
Fair enough. And it was, in fun fact, the second best opening of all time for the 5-day weekend behind Disney's Frozen.
Never heard of it.
Oh, It's a cute little musical.
Oh.
Yeah, starring some princesses who you may have seen in Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh, yeah. It's that little art house film that came out a couple years ago.
Exactly.
Right? Oh, yeah.
I see big things for that movie.
Sure. Like maybe a sequel.
Who knows?
Maybe in a year.
Who can say?
Who can say? So overall, it was a very entertaining movie, right?
Absolutely. You know, I just remembered we were in a theater full of only gay men.
There were like 12 gay men and one straight.
It was awesome. It was awesome. We had a great time. We do recommend you go see it.
Absolutely.
Send us your thoughts, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can reach out to us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can email us at info@gaysdothed.com.
Hey, Patrick, let's take a deep dive into some news.
Okay. The 2019 Run Disney Princess Half Marathon Weekend medals have been revealed. The weekend kicks off on Thursday, February 21st, with the opening of the Runners Expo, and the races officially start on Friday, February 22nd, with the Princess 5K, the Enchanted 10K on Saturday the 23rd, and the weekend wraps up with the Princess Half Marathon on Sunday the 24th. Of course, there's also the Fairy Tale Challenge, which is the combination of the 10K and the half marathon. Gross.
That's a lot of running.
Just kidding. I'm going to do it in April, actually.
You are.
For the Star Wars
Yeah,
one.
so get ready for it.
I am. Actually, my training starts this week.
Your training starts now.
With this vodka martini. So here is the breakdown of the medal designs. The 5K features Princess Elena of Avalor. The 10K features Mulan, the Half Marathon features Sleeping Beauty, and the Challenge medal features Princess Jasmine on the magic carpet.
I gasped when I saw the medals.
They're beautiful.
I don't normally get into the medals, but I got to say the two that stood out to me the most were the Briar Rose Sleeping Beauty medal, and that Princess Jasmine medal is gorgeous.
It is majestic.
I might just need one for myself. Do I need to run to get a medal?
You do need to run and complete to get a medal, I believe.
Oh. Well, eBay begs to differ.
It's true.
I am
It's
going
true.
on eBay and buying a medal.
It's true.
That's cheating. I would never do that. I'm much more moral than that.
Okay. Something I love about the Princess Half Marathon Weekend, which is also as part of the Marathon Weekend that's in January, is that you get to run through Magic Kingdom on those two races.
Oh, yeah. That'd be so wonderful.
Yeah, you don't get to do those on the other ones throughout the year, and so I really want to try to get out there and do those just to run through the Magic Kingdom.
Plus, I can just imagine how amazing everyone looks. Like, there's got to be a lot of incredible costumes that people are sporting for those runs.
Absolutely. I mean, they wear them regardless for any of the runs, but for the Princess ones, I've seen pictures, and people are decked out, and I applaud them for running in such elaborate outfits, because I'm in my little short shorts and a t-shirt, and I am dying at the end of it.
Yeah, but you still look fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So if you're going to be out there for the Princess Half Marathon, send us your pictures. I especially really want to see them. And
I don't.
Adam
I just
especially doesn't want to see them.
You can send me your medal and I will wear it. Hey, you know what? Our friend Lucia from Brazil is going to be running in the Princess Marathon.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's so exciting.
Yes. And I bet she'll look fabulous doing it too.
Send us your pictures.
We want to see them and we will absolutely repost them. Send them to us on Instagram at GDTD Podcast.
Correct. For more info or to register for an upcoming Run Disney event, visit rundisney.com.
I have a first to report, Patrick.
I love hearing about people's firsts.
Disney Parks Live will broadcast the Candlelight Processional live from Epcot on December 4th.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing.
For those of you who may not be aware, Disney Parks Live does these incredible live streams of events and really atmospheres from around the park. Have you watched the sunrise experiences, Patrick, on Disney Parks Live?
No.
Oh my gosh. So they set up all these cameras around the parks and like they have it focused on Cinderella Castle or on Spaceship Earth. And beginning at 5:30 a.m., they just turn on the cameras from all these various angles and you can watch the sunrise on the parks. And
Is that all the time or just once in a while?
just once in a while, very special events.
Wow.
And if you miss it, you can catch it on YouTube later on in the day.
I know what I'm doing later.
Going back to the Candlelight Processional, it will be broadcast on December 4th, 2018. As I said, that's this Tuesday. And the host will be wait for it, Neil Patrick Harris.
And everyone screams.
He's like the most popular candlelight processional host of them all.
It's true. He's basically the gay mafia king, right? Kingpin? I don't know that slang.
Kingpin
me.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
The live stream will begin at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will feature a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to bring the beautiful show to life, and the performance will begin at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. To tune into the live stream on December 4th, visit the Disney Parks blog at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time that night. There's a lot of times. 8:05, 8:10, 8:15.
Very specific. Their stage manager must be on point.
And here's something to make it extra special.
Ooh.
Before and after the show, Disney Parks Live will share some of that's right, listeners, your favorite Disney Parks holiday vacation photos as part of the stream. How are they going to do this, you ask?
I do ask.
Let me tell you.
Thank you.
To have your photo considered, share it now, right this very moment, on Twitter with the hashtag Disney Parks Live, and you may have your photo featured on the live stream.
Amazing. So, Adam, previously we had talked about a new resort being added to the Swan and Dolphin resorts on Disney World property. An official announcement has been made by Marriott International, which owns the Swan and Dolphin hotels, that the new complex will be called, drumroll please,
it kind of sounds like Fred Flintstone running, like when he pops up into the air and his legs just go.
Yeah. It's what I imagine a raccoon sounds like when it's like scared of something and it's running away. But thank you for that. The new complex will be called The Cove.
The Cove.
I like it. Not the Badger, like I had originally thought.
Right.
It is The Cove. I like it.
They missed the mark. They missed the mark not choosing Badger, I gotta say.
I won't disagree with you.
It sounds very covey. Isn't that what you mean?
Yeah, comfy and covey. We have a new slogan for them. Oh, dear. We should just work there all that time. So the new hotel will be across the street from the Swan and Dolphin and will have 349 rooms, making the room total for the trifecta of hotels 2,600.
Not enough.
I need half of those when I stay there. One for each shoe.
So many hat boxes for you. It's like you're getting on the Titanic.
It's mostly for my pin collection. The Cove will be group-oriented, much like me, and geared toward events and conventions. Much like me. It will feature a rooftop that can be reserved for weddings or other VIP events, and like the Swan and Dolphin, it will be walking distance to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. A quote from the general manager of the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Hotels: "I'm sort of like a dad. I love the Swan, I love the Dolphin, but the newest baby is going to be something special."
I feel like there might be things missing from his life. He seems really invested in the Cove.
These buildings are his children. Listen, I understand.
Those are some big babies.
Those are some big babies that need a lot of care.
Yeah.
The Cove is slated to open sometime in either late 2020 or early 2021.
You know they're going to be working overtime to get that ready for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World.
I mean, they're going to need so much room to house people that it's going to be ridiculous if they don't have it open by then, but you never know.
Wasn't there a quasi kind of soft core gay soap opera called something Cove?
Dante's Cove?
Dante's Cove.
Is that what it was?
Ooh, I hope the hotel's like that. Just like every once in a while a bare buttock, but never full frontal.
It'll be like Brer Bear Dante's Cove.
So many bear butts on Splash Mountain.
And now in the Cove. A bear cove.
Temporary closure alert. Temporary closure alert. So through our Instagram at GDTD Podcast, we had previously said that the Friendship Boat Service would be suspended at Epcot through early December.
Mm-hmm.
But today, Disney announced they were changing up that plan.
Ooh.
And now the Friendship Boat Service will only be suspended at 9:30 p.m. each night until late December 2018.
Interesting.
So no more complete suspension of the boat service, only beginning at 9:30 p.m. each night. This is, of course, due to the Disney Skyliner construction, which is currently underway at the International Gateway, which is, of course, the backdoor entrance to the park.
Oh, dear.
The International Gateway will, of course, be open, and the pedestrian walkways will also be available, as will bus transportation for Epcot area resort hotel guests.
Okay, so this is a lot less major than we thought it was going to be.
That's right. The Friendship Boats will still be available from Epcot area resort hotels to Disney's Hollywood Studios, which, as we know, is more of a walk.
Mm-hmm.
The Disney Skyliner is scheduled to open fall 2019.
I'm so excited for that. Once again, DVC members will soon be able to enjoy the ever-popular Moonlight Magic in both Disneyland and Walt Disney World parks.
I'm jealous.
I know, I want to be a DVC member so bad.
I do, but I don't want the cost. How do I work around that?
If you're listening and you have a lot of money and don't know what to do with it, we'll send you our address. For those of you who don't know, Moonlight Magic is an exclusive and complimentary after-hours event for Disney Vacation Club members and their guests. The events at Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Typhoon Lagoon will include access to select attractions throughout the park with shorter than usual wait times, meet and greets with unique characters, a DJ dance party, and complimentary refreshments.
Complimentary refreshments.
Yes. In fact, the unique characters that they talk about are incredibly unique. I've seen some photos of people getting to meet the cast of The Lion King.
Oh my gosh.
I know, insane. I want to be there so bad for that.
I'd like to meet a few of those cast members.
The Tumble Monkeys?
Hello.
Tumble for you. So the Disneyland event will be on January 31st, and registration opens on the 18th through the DVC website. Magic Kingdom Moonlight Magic will be on February 5th and the 12th. The Hollywood Studios will be on March 20th and 27th. Epcot on May 13th and 20th. Animal Kingdom on July 18th, August 8th and 22nd, and Typhoon Lagoon on September 18th and October 16th. Again, you can make those reservations online through the DVC website if you are a DVC member.
I'm still not. I thought I would be by now. I thought by the time you finished that news story, I would be a DVC member.
Wait, let me check my tweets.
And?
Still not.
Disney has released details on the 2 new restaurants coming to Disney's Coronado Springs Resort in Walt Disney World.
Hooray!
I'm very, very excited for this. And do you know why, Patrick?
Yes, I know why, Adam. Tell everyone else.
Because I will be staying in the tower. That's right. I called in last week. I made my reservation. I will be staying in the tower in August, and I will be trying both restaurants.
You're my best friend, but I'm very mad at you. Because you're going without me for gay days. And I don't know if I can continue this podcast.
Of course, I told you are absolutely invited to join me.
Well, we'll see.
But enough about me.
Yeah.
Toledo will be the name of the restaurant located on the top of the Grand Destino Tower. It will be a tapas, steak, and seafood restaurant. That sounds delicious. And of course, we know it's going to have fabulous views of the fireworks from Epcot and from Hollywood Studios. It will also offer a selection of wines from Spain and California, Patrick.
My medicine.
The new restaurant, being built in the middle of Lago Dorado, which is the lake on property, will be called 3 Bridges Bar and Grill, and that will feature sandwiches, shared plates, and salads.
I wonder how many bridges will be there.
3.
Oh, yep, of course.
3 bridges. Both restaurants are expected to open on July 9th, 2019, which is the same day that Grand Destino Tower opens.
That's incredible. This tower seems enormous, and it's insane how quickly it's going up.
I'm super excited to see it. I'm super excited to share it with all of you.
Are we all invited?
I have 2 queen beds.
So yes. Adam, I've got another story that's going to tug at your heartstrings. Every year, Disney presents a Spirit Award to that year's most inspirational figure in college football. And I know how much you love football.
I love the football uniforms.
Interesting. This year, the award will go to former Purdue University student Tyler Trent. Tyler was diagnosed with bone cancer in 2015. He fought his cancer and refused to give up, and in 2017, he started classes at Purdue and attended the first day of class despite having had surgery 11 days earlier to remove his pelvis. He also camped out with fellow Boilermaker fans to get football tickets with his classmates. ESPN College Game Day reporter Tom Rinaldi caught wind of Tyler's story and gave him a profile highlighting his fight with cancer and his prediction that Purdue would defeat the number 2 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Purdue, in fact, took them down 49-20 with Trent watching from the sidelines. Trent will be presented with the Spirit Award this Thursday, December 6th, in Atlanta at the College Football Award Show, which will be televised live on ESPN.
What an incredible story.
An amazing story. This dude is awesome.
Yet again, another example of Disney drawing attention to a fantastic, heartwarming story and really lavishing attention on someone who truly deserves it.
Such a fascinating story, and well done, Disney, for recognizing his bravery and his fight with cancer and lifting his life up like that, I think, is such a needed experience for these people who are going through such tragedy in their lives. So, congratulations, Tyler. We wish you the best of luck, and we believe in you.
Tom Hanks.
Yas?
Tom Hanks as Geppetto?
Interesting.
So according to a November 29th article in The Hollywood Reporter, Tom Hanks is in early talks to play Geppetto in Disney's live-action remake of Pinocchio.
That's very exciting.
The 1940 animated classic would be the next remake to go into production as part of Disney's ongoing adaptation of its animated films into live-action versions. Paddington filmmaker Paul King is attached to direct.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Tom Hanks has quite a connection with Disney, right? He was in Toy Story. He was in Toy Story 2. He was in Toy Story 3.
I see where you're going with this.
He was in Saving Mr. Banks.
True story.
He will be in Toy Story 4.
So many stories.
So it's no surprise that Disney would want him for this project. But I have to admit, I do feel odd about this choice if he does end up playing the role.
Talk to me about that.
I mean, is he going to be Italian? Like in the movie, or are they going to update it? Maybe he's not Italian, or is it just like more of like a fairy tale situation, and so they're not worried about that?
Who can say?
I have questions.
I mean, are you mad if he's Italian?
It wouldn't feel right to me.
Oh, he's such a good character actor, though. I believe him in anything that he does.
I understand that. I get it. I think it's just more Tom Hanks. I can't picture him as Geppetto. The funny thing was, when I was trying to think of who else could play this role, the first person to pop in my mind was Roberto Benigni.
Oh, okay.
But he actually played Pinocchio in a 2002 movie.
Right.
Do you remember that? How weird that was?
I do remember that.
He was the puppet and the boy. So I guess he's out of the running.
Maybe Cate Blanchett?
Kate Blanchett seems like an obvious choice. She can do
great.
anything. Fresh off the heels as her role as the wicked stepmother, she's now Geppetto. Waiting in the shadows during all of this is Guillermo del Toro, because he is making a Pinocchio film for Netflix.
That's right, a stop-motion film, in fact.
That's right. So this will be very interesting to see how this plays out. Will there be competing Pinocchio projects going on at the same time?
I hope so.
Is it going to be a situation like The Jungle Book, where we had The Jungle Book and now we have the Mowgli movie coming out on Netflix?
I think we're bound to run into that more often than not now, because those stories are up for grabs. I mean, Disney doesn't own these stories. They own their versions of them, but not the actual story. So it's anyone's game. When
I posted about this on social media, there was a very mixed response to this story. A lot of people were like, yay, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, we want an unknown to play Geppetto and not Tom Hanks, because they felt it would be too distracting to see Tom Hanks playing such a beloved Disney character. And some people just flat out said they wanted original stories and for Disney not to be remaking these classic animated films.
I can totally see that point, but I love the story of Pinocchio, and I think that this one is actually a perfect example of a movie that should be live action. I think that it's just rife for that because of all of the human characters that are in it, and also some of the art that they can put in it that they couldn't do with the cartoon version of it. And I love Tom Hanks. I really loved him in The Polar Express, and I'm thinking about his character work in that and what he can bring to Geppetto. I think it'll be a good mix.
I have concerns. I do. I feel concerned.
Yeah.
I'm eager to see what they do with it, but something doesn't feel right to me, and I'm going to need to see how this plays out.
Fair enough. I'm thinking this might actually be a dark version of a Disney movie, because Pinocchio is pretty dark, if you think about it.
So they're going to remove all the fart jokes from the original film?
I hope so.
All right. Well, as I said, he's in early talks to play this role. We still have plenty of time to see where this is going to go.
Yes.
Maybe Disney will win me over. They've done it once or twice before.
Here and there. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Do you know what I need?
What do you need?
I need a hero.
Oh, yes. I need a hero.
Don't we all? We all need a hero right about
I'm holding
now.
out for a hero on the edge of the night. Are those the words? I don't know the words.
With the lasers.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Of course, what I'm talking about is, back by popular demand, is our Fab Five series, and we are doing Fab Five Heroes.
Fab Five Heroes. It's time for some heroes.
So exciting. Of course, for those of you who don't know, our Fab Five is our top 5 list, but we're calling it the Fab Five list after Disney's Fab Five: Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, and Goofy.
Spoiler alert, none of them made my list.
Oh, same here, same here. We love them all, but not heroes in my book.
You know, this was really challenging for me, Patrick. For some reason, I just...
Love villains.
I love villains. It's true. And like my villains list, which you can hear on a previous episode, came to me in a flash, right? But this one I struggled with. My top 3 I knew right away.
Okay.
But the 4 and 5 spots, I was just like, I could not...
That's so funny.
Get a handle on them.
I was the opposite. I had a list of 10, and I was struggling to pare it down.
Well, that's clearly because you are good and light, and I am dark and evil.
I won't disagree. I won't disagree. I actually made my top 5.
Did you really?
Yep, I'm in it.
You are so humble. You are the most humble person I know.
Which truly makes a hero.
That's right.
Well, Adam, why don't you kick us off with your number 5 hero?
All right, my number 5 hero is... Simba.
Ooh.
Yeah, Simba from the 1994 film The Lion King. You may have heard of it. You may have heard about a remake that's coming out next year.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The film was directed by Roger Allers and Rob Minkoff. And Mark Henn served as Cub Simba's supervising animator, and he animated Ariel, Belle, Princess Jasmine.
All those unknowns.
That's right. And he was supervising animator for Tiana from The Princess and the Frog.
Oh, I love that.
Ruben Aquino served as supervising animator for adult Simba, and he was supervising animator for Ursula, who made both of our Fab Five villain list.
My number 1 villain.
She was your number 1 villain. He also animated Maurice in Beauty and the Beast and Li Shang in Mulan. The voice of young Simba was provided by Jonathan Taylor Thomas of Home Improvement fame.
And my boyhood crush at the time.
He was really cute back in the day. Is he still really cute?
He's a very handsome man still.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. And Matthew Broderick provided the voice of adult Simba, and you may know him from War Games. Wouldn't you prefer a nice game of chess? Have you ever seen War Games, Patrick?
I sure have.
Yeah. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off, of course.
And, of course, as the husband to Sarah Jessica Parker.
He certainly is her husband. The singing voice for young Simba was provided by Jason Weaver. And the singing voice for adult Simba was provided by Toto lead singer Joseph Williams. Did you know that?
No, I'm shocked.
I had no idea. I just learned that researching this.
Shocked to the core.
And of course, I can't talk about Simba without talking about Can You Feel the Love Tonight? In fact, a lot of my heroes have a song associated with them, or like a very well-known song.
Sure.
And when I was researching this, I was like, oh yeah, that song goes with this hero and that song goes with this hero. Anyway, Simba. Let's talk about Simba. How great is Simba?
Simba's great. Adorable, brave, a little scared at times. He like runs the gamut of like a hero cycle in this movie.
That's absolutely right. I think there's always a period in a hero's life when there's that kind of self-doubt going on, or even hatred, and then they kind of rebound from that and come back even stronger and more self-confident.
I have to say, Nala is up there, not on my top 5 list, but like within this movie as a hero too. I feel like a lot of people don't recognize that she was the one who pushed him to like realize his inner hero, but Simba, of course, is the hero of the movie.
You're absolutely right about that, Patrick. She plays a crucial role in getting him back to the Pride Lands, like kind of getting him off his butt and like saving the Pride. So anyway, yes, Simba/Hamlet, my number 5 choice for my Fab Five heroes.
I like it. You came in hot with a big character.
I know. Are you nervous?
I am a little bit nervous of where you're going to go. All the way to the top.
All right, Patrick, let's get your number 5. Who is your number 5 Fab Five hero?
Well, my number 5 is also from the Animal Kingdom, but not the Pride Lands. I'm talking about Judy Hopps.
Judy!
Of course, Judy Hopps from Zootopia, which opened on March 4th, 2016. Judy was voiced by Jennifer Goodwin. You may know her from Big Love, Mona Lisa Smiles, and she plays Snow White on ABC's Once Upon a Time. I love her. Her voice is so buttery and delicious. I just love her so much.
I feel like I could be friends with her.
You could be. You could be. I think I am friends with her.
Sure.
She's not aware.
Sure.
But she will be soon.
That's called stalking?
So even though Judy is the smallest in her class, she's super plucky, she's super brave, she's constantly being told by everyone around her, mostly Ben, that she's not good enough and that she can't get the job she wants. But even when she's at the lowest of the low, she decides to be the best at anything she does. And I love that about her. I think that's a great role model for anyone, right?
Absolutely. And do you know what I love about Judy? She's on her own. You know, I'm using air quotes on this, you know. She's doing it for herself. You know what I'm saying? Sisters are doing it. She's doing it for herself.
That's right.
And I love that about her.
Yeah, she doesn't really have a mentor. She just sort of figured this out on her own and always listens to her heart, and it leads her into danger sometimes. And she goes a little off the beaten path, and she makes some wrong choices, but she always gets back on the straight and narrow. I love that. She's such a good character. She's determined. Like I said, she never gives up. She's the classic underdog, even though she's not really, because she is the smartest in her class and she is the most plucky in her class and she passes all the tests, but everyone tells her that she can't do it. It's like she's Hillary Clinton is what she is. She has a great quote in the movie. Life's a little bit messy. We all make mistakes. No matter what type of animal you are, change starts with you.
Oh, I love that.
Me too. So well done, Judy Hopps, my number 5. Moving on to number 4, who is your number 4 hero?
Let me preface my choice for number 4 by saying I don't necessarily agree with the movie or the choices it made. In fact, for all of my choices, let me just say, I don't necessarily think of these as like my favorite Disney films. I definitely looked more at the characters as opposed to the story in the films themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I did the same thing.
Okay, great. So, again, not necessarily about the story.
I'm really nervous about this.
My number 4 is Pocahontas.
Oh, okay. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, so like Disney, I don't know what you did with that story. I don't know. It's not really a kid's story. And in fact, I heard that the movie actually was supposed to be even more bonkers and like comedic than it actually was.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that would have been in very poor taste.
It's a touch historically problematic.
It is.
Disney's version of it.
That's such a great way of saying it, Patrick. So, of course, Pocahontas came out in 1995. It was directed by Mike Gabriel and Eric Goldberg. The supervising animator for Pocahontas was Glenn Keane, who we all know and love because he designed and animated Ariel and served as supervising animator for Beast, Aladdin, and Tarzan.
Okay.
Pocahontas' speaking voice was provided by Irene Bedard, who I learned was a Golden Globe-nominated actress for her film Lakota Women Siege at Wounded Knee.
Oh.
And Pocahontas' singing voice was provided by Judy Kuhn, who is a Broadway star. She's been in Les Miserables, in Chess, in Sunset Boulevard, in Fun Home.
Wow.
And again, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Pocahontas' song, Colors of the Wind. Again, this beautiful song attached to the character.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pocahontas, right? She sacrifices everything.
All the things.
For strangers, right? Like these strangers are coming to America, and she is the one who tries to teach her people, her community, acceptance and tolerance, even when both sides are kind of going at it. So, I mean, hero right there.
Right. She's trying to get in the middle of everybody and be the peacekeeper.
And, of course, in the film, she saves John Smith's life and then sets him free. She lets him go back to England.
That's right. Now, of course, we're talking about the movie version of Pocahontas. Just to preface that one more time.
Let me be clear. This is just the Disney's...
We're very aware.
This is Disney's telling of it. But their version of it is still a beautiful story. And there's plenty of lessons to learn about being noble, about standing up for what you believe in, about tolerance and acceptance, and finding the beauty within things you don't necessarily understand.
That's right. Even the environmental implications that come with just building societies, that you have to respect the earth, is a message that I think a lot of people hold on to. She's a fan favorite in the parks as well. Every time she makes appearances at, I believe, Animal Kingdom, the line is very long to meet her.
So yes, my number 4 is Pocahontas. She's fabulous. She's very smart. She's very beautiful. They based her on me. Patrick.
Yes.
Who is your number 4 Fab Five hero?
I'll tell you what, Adam, we are coming in strong with the women because my number 4 is Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, she almost made my list.
Oh, she made mine because I love her more. Of course, Esmeralda was voiced by Demi Moore from St. Elmo's Fire, Ghost, A Few Good Men, of course, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
I believe that won an Academy Award.
And her singing voice was Heidi Mollenhauer, who, fun fact, this was her only credit. She was discovered, I believe, at a nightclub singing, and she never did anything after this again.
God help the outcasts.
Oh, I love that song so much.
Yeah, that's a beautiful sequence.
The supervising animator, I'm going to butcher his name, I believe it's Tony Fusilli.
Okay.
He also worked on Aladdin, The Lion King, The Incredibles, Ratatouille, the list goes on.
Wow.
Big name, big name. Of course, Esmeralda and the rest of the characters are based on the 1831 novel by Victor Hugo of the same name, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. In both the book and the Disney movie, she is known to be a very kind-hearted individual. She is a little bit like Pocahontas, that the things that you loved about Pocahontas are sort of what are also embodied in Esmeralda. She has, of course, that beautiful song, God Help the Outcasts, which you just sang a little bit of. One of my favorite Disney songs. There's a quote that I love, and this is maybe why I chose her to be in my top 5. The quote is, I ask for nothing, I can get by, but I know so many less lucky than I. And that is something that we should all strive to live by, don't you think?
Absolutely.
In the movie, she tries to help Quasimodo believe that he's beautiful because of his soul, and it doesn't matter what you look like to be a beautiful person. She also helps him escape Frollo's abuse and humiliation, for which she is confined to the cathedral. So she's a little bit of a martyr, and she's very heroic in both her attitude and her actions. So she's just a fantastic character to live up to. I love her. What do you think about her?
I love her too. There's that undercurrent of sadness about her, which draws me to her.
Yeah.
I do wish Disney had stuck with the original ending to the story. I understand why they didn't.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to upset the kids.
Yeah.
But I did miss that element to her story because I think it does complete her story arc. And it does make her more of a martyr, even more than she is in the animated feature, right?
Yeah.
But she is a smart, sassy character and obviously incredibly beautiful, but incredibly thoughtful as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's part of course, the gypsy camp. And historically, they didn't have the best of lives during this time. They were the outcasts. And so to see a character come from that and still her first instinct is always to help people is really inspirational. So I love you, Esmeralda. One of my favorite movies and one of my favorite characters. Shall we move on to number 3?
We shall.
Who is your number 3 hero, Adam?
My number 3 hero, sticking with the women. You always got to stick with the women.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
Moana.
She almost made my top 5. She was just edged out.
Moana has completely won me over. I love Moana.
Yeah.
She, of course, was the star of the 2016 film Moana. It was directed by Ron Clements and John Musker. Fun fact, I was in a play with John Musker's sister.
What?
Yeah, I had no idea. And one day she got into the car. We were carpooling to the show, and she said, you know, life is really put into perspective when your brothers won an Academy Award.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, what? And she's like, my brother's John Musker. You may have heard of him. He's a Disney director. And I lost my mind.
That's crazy town.
The heads of animation for Moana were Amy Smead and Hiram Veery Osmond, and the designers were Jin Kim, Bill Schwab, Randy Haycock, Minkyu Lee, and Nick Orsi. I couldn't really find out who actually designed Moana. I don't know how it works with CGI or like that kind of 3D animation.
Yeah, I think as we get further and further into the development of these movies, it's more of a team who designs the art around it as opposed to individuals designing characters.
We, of course, know that her voice was provided by the incredibly talented Auli'i Cravalho.
She's so good and so young still. I can't wait to see what she does next.
Did you know that was her acting debut?
I did. She was, I think, hand-selected by Lin-Manuel Miranda to sing this role.
That's phenomenal. And in fact, I would like to encourage Disney to do more of this. I want more new talent. I just feel like it's so exciting to hear a voice you haven't heard before and to have that experience of having a story told by someone you don't really know.
Sure, and not that sort of traditional Disney princess singing voice. This is a very passionate voice, and it just sort of moves your whole soul.
Again, She is known for her song, How Far I'll Go, which I love, Patrick.
Yeah.
This is more important to me than Let It Go. Like, this song really speaks to me, and it is so, so beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It's one of my running songs. The beat of it is a perfect running beat, and the lyrics also are very inspirational.
I totally get that. It was Academy Award nominated for Best Original Song. Okay, so Moana.
Yeah.
Chosen by the ocean, Patrick.
Yeah. I mean, same.
She is chosen to restore the legendary heart of Te And what I love about Moana is that she's athletic and that she's adventurous and that she really wants to carve her own path in the world, right? Like, she's kind of restricted on the island that she's on. Her parents don't really want her to wander off, but she wants to explore the world. And why shouldn't she? And she does, and I love it.
That's right. I really love this sort of resurgence of women who aren't looking for a man to complete their lives in these Disney movies. They're just looking to be a part of the world, and that is so needed, these women power stories.
The story is their own, right? It's not about looking beyond themselves to find meaning from someone else.
Exactly.
It's finding meaning within themselves. And I totally agree with you. I love that these stories are based around that human experience.
Yeah. In fact, the man in the movie who's supposed to be the hero is a bit of a buffoon.
Right. He's a buffoon. He's full of himself. You don't really like him. He does redeem himself in the end. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But he's more like the comedy sidekick as opposed to the focus of the story, which I love.
Yeah, he's so confident and unwilling to learn, which makes Moana the smarter character because she wants to learn.
We're, of course, talking about Maui, in case you haven't caught on by now.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're welcome. Oh, see what I did there?
Uh-oh.
That's his song.
True story.
All right, Patrick. So that was my number 3 Fab Five hero.
Yes.
Moana.
I am Moana.
You're not Moana.
Yeah, you're right.
Who is your number 3 Fab Five hero?
I'm gonna keep the women rolling in.
Yep.
Number 3, a little bit more whimsical.
Ooh, yeah, I like it.
But I had to go with her because she sort of speaks to my personality.
Yeah.
At least my personality as a teenager.
Okay.
I'm talking about Violet from The Incredibles.
Oh, this is such a great choice. This is such a great choice, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And of course, from The Incredibles 2, which was released just this year, 2018, Violet was voiced by Sarah Vowell, a historian, author, and journalist featured on This American Life until about 2008. So Violet is a teenager. She's shy. She's not confident. Her first superpower is to literally become invisible, which speaks to a lot of teenagers, I think. You know?
I mean, who hasn't wanted to do that when they were a teenager? I'm still on a daily basis like, please, let me be invisible right now.
Absolutely. We all have those moments where we're just like, I'm so embarrassed or shy or uncomfortable right now that I just want to disappear. And she is able to do so, which is kind of cool. So as she starts to become more confident throughout the movie, her powers start to grow and she discovers that she can create a force field around herself and others, which, in my opinion, is a really interesting metaphor for her life, right? She herself wants to be invisible, but she still has a deep desire to protect her family and herself. And so she can literally do that with these force fields. And I think these powers are so cool that they've gifted her in the movie that they just resemble everything a teenager's going through. You know what I mean? Like the yin and the yang of what it's like to be young and not sure of your place in the world.
And not sure what to do with your own strength, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, another interesting fact about her is that she isn't especially interested in being a hero. She's one of the family members of superheroes who isn't quite sure that she wants to be a part of it all. And then she discovers that it can be a very rewarding experience and it brings her family together, and so that's when she gets on board with it. A fun fact about her is that her long black hair was identified as the most difficult part of the movie to animate. Such a large quantity of hair had never been featured in a computer animated film before, and so new computer technology had to actually be developed to make it happen. So crazy. And if you notice in the movie, she starts out literally hiding behind her hair, and then as the movie progresses, you see her hair slowly get pulled back, and she stops hiding behind it, and she becomes a true superhero.
What I love about Violet is that you never lose sight of the fact that she's a teenager. Mm-hmm. Even when she starts to embrace her powers and become more self-confident.
Yeah.
You're still so keenly aware of the fact that she is in her teens and experiencing all those teenager emotions and the awkwardness.
Yeah.
And it just makes her more relatable and more human.
Yeah, she's trying so hard, and yet she still makes mistakes, but she goes for it regardless. And then there are moments where she's just like, I literally want to hide. And then she becomes invisible. I love her so much. Well done, Violet. Well done, Incredibles. I love those movies. Can't stop talking about them.
You just did. You stopped.
I'm going to keep talking then through your next two. Speaking of two,
Yes.
we're moving on to number two.
We are moving on to number 2.
Your number 2 hero, Adam.
My number 2 hero rhymes with number 2. It's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, unexpected.
This was one that came to me in a revelation.
Mm-hmm.
I had to really look outside of the kind of classic hero archetype.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, Disney characters, who's a real hero in Disney stories?
Mm-hmm.
And Winnie the Pooh just popped into my brain.
Wow. Okay. I'm excited to hear why.
So we first saw Disney's Winnie the Pooh in the 1966 short Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree.
Such a cute story.
Yes, which was later added to The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which was released as a feature in 1977.
Mm-hmm.
Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree was directed by Wolfgang, or Wooly, as he's known,
Ooh.
Reitherman, and was animated by everyone not working on the Jungle Book at the time. There were so many animators dedicated to the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
But Eric Larson, John Lounsbury, Hal King, John Sibley, and Eric Cleworth were not.
Okay.
And so those gentlemen were given the task of bringing this story to life, which of course was created by A.A. Milne, who wrote Winnie the Pooh in 1926.
One of my favorites. I love the Winnie the Pooh stories.
Winnie the Pooh was first voiced by Sterling Holloway, and he voiced Winnie the Pooh from 1966 to 1977. Then Hal Smith took over from 1980 to 1987. And the one that we probably know best is Jim Cummings, who voiced Winnie the Pooh from 1988 to the present.
Wow.
He also voices Tigger.
Oh.
He also voiced Ed in The Lion King.
Oh, of course.
The hyena who's like giggly and foolish.
Mm-hmm.
He also provided the singing voice for Scar in The Lion King.
I was just going to say.
Again, going back to our Fab Five villains.
Mm-hmm.
And also, again, tying incredible music to a heroic character.
Yeah.
All of those Sherman Brothers songs.
Mm-hmm.
Winnie the Pooh,
Mm-hmm.
Winnie the Pooh. You know, I mean, those were all Sherman Brothers songs. They were classics.
I love the when I up, down,
Yes.
touch the ground. I love it.
So, Winnie the Pooh, hero. Probably not everyone's first choice for a hero. But here's what I love about Winnie the Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
He's so calm
Yeah.
and so determined
Mm-hmm.
and so friendly, right? He truly loves his friends
Mm-hmm.
and he truly wants to live his best life.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's a hero, just someone who's so comfortable in their own skin. I mean, yes, does he want to lose weight at times? Sure he does. Does he want to consume large amounts of honey at other times? Sure he does.
That's right.
That's basically me. And so when I watch the movies or the television series, I see a lot of myself in Winnie the Pooh.
I love that. And you could argue that he is a hero for Christopher Robin. He sort of saves him from growing up too fast.
And he's absolutely a hero for Piglet, right? I mean, Piglet is constantly just like a little bundle of nerves. And Pooh is the very calming presence in Piglet's life.
Yeah.
Sometimes he does tend to incite more anxiety in Piglet, but he's always there to support his friend.
That's fair. His heart is always in the right place.
You nailed it right on the head, Patrick. Pooh's heart is always in the right place, and that truly makes him a hero.
I love it. Well done. I really love that you went outside of the box for this one, or outside of the honey jar, if you will.
It was completely unexpected, as I said before. But the more I thought about what he actually does in each of those stories and what he does in the films, he just seemed like an obvious choice to me to be like kind of a non-hero hero.
Yeah. He's something we all kind of need in our lives.
Absolutely.
I love that. Well done. Well done.
All right, Patrick. What about your number 2 Fab Five hero?
Okay, so I have an admission. As I want to do, I've cheated a little bit.
Oh, so there's like 3 or 4 people then they're going to bring up?
It's a whole village of people.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. It's just two people.
Okay.
And I'm talking about the smallest of non-people, Miss Bianca and Bernard from The Rescuers.
Of course, Miss Bianca and Bernard. Of course you chose them. I know you love The Rescuers.
I sure do, and especially The Rescuers Down Under, for which they appeared as well. And they were voiced by Ava Gabor and Bob Newhart, respectively.
I love Bob Newhart.
I love Bob Newhart from, of course, The Bob Newhart Show.
The Bob Newhart Show, Newhart.
Mm-hmm. Legally Blonde 2.
That's right.
And Ava Gabor, of course, was famous for her role in Green Acres.
Green Acres is the place for me.
Were you in that show?
I was not in that show.
Okay.
Or was I?
Yep, you're old enough. So these mice are adorable, but they're also incredibly brave, incredibly smart, and just incredibly politically motivated as well, which I love that they have these politically motivated mice heading up the mouse version of the United Nations to go save people from abduction. Crazy town. And that's such a weird story to fit into a Disney movie, like saving kidnapped children. I love it. It's just a smart idea for them.
It was a weird time, right? I mean, to be fair, it was pre-Disney Renaissance, so like pre-Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And Disney was kind of going through this odd experimental phase. We're talking about kind of Rescuers was pre-Black Cauldron. And of course, Rescuers Down Under was post-Little Mermaid. So it's very interesting that this story continued even on into the Renaissance.
Yeah, well, actually, a fun fact is that The Rescuers is the first Disney movie to receive an animated sequel.
I did not know that.
Now you do.
I do know that. Thank you, Patrick.
You're so welcome. So some of the brave things that these mice go through, they literally fight some alligators.
Oh, my.
I know. They go against a poacher in the Rescuers Down Under to save a golden eagle and a little boy. Of course, they save the little girl Penny from the first movie. And they're never stopped at all. They always just keep going until they get what they want. And they're just this great story of no matter how big you are, you can be the biggest hero of them all.
That was so well said.
Thank you so much.
Did they say that in the movie?
They don't say that in the movie.
They should say that in the movie.
Well, maybe they will for The Rescuers 3, starring Adam and Patrick. I'll be Miss Bianca.
You will absolutely be Miss Bianca.
A lot of people don't remember them because The Rescuers wasn't such a huge hit and isn't sort of in everyone's Disney catalog, but they should be because these movies, both of them, The Rescuers and The Rescuer Down Under, are both beautifully animated, wonderful stories, not too scary. They're non-musicals, so maybe that's part of why people don't remember them, but they should absolutely be part of everyone's lists.
I know that The Rescuers Down Under was on your Fab Five Disney movies list.
It sure was.
And I still have not seen it. I'm so ashamed to admit it. In fact, I haven't seen The Rescuers and I haven't seen The Rescuers Down Under.
You are missing out, my friend.
The way you talk about it makes me really want to experience it. So we're going to need to have a movie night and I'm going to need to watch both back-to-back double feature.
We have made it to our number one heroes.
Here we are.
I'm real nervous. I have a suspicion that we might have the same one.
Listen, do you just want me to say mine and then you can just like agree with me? Because
then we'll just talk about it?
I absolutely think we have the same person.
Okay.
It's a woman.
Mine's not.
What?
Uh-oh. This is amazing. Okay,
I thought for sure we were going to have the same person.
This might be our first Fab Five where we don't cross over at all.
We have not crossed once.
Disney movie-wise.
That's right.
All right, here we go.
All right, well, my number one Fab Five hero is Mulan.
Oh.
Again, not my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah.
But I recently rewatched it, as in a couple of days ago. It came out in 1998. It was directed by Tony Bancroft and Barry Cook. It was the first Disney animated film to be produced primarily at the animation studio at Disney MGM Studios in Orlando, Florida.
I did not know that.
Back when it was Disney MGM Studios.
That's right, now known as Hollywood Studios.
The supervising animator was Mark Henn, who also animated Ariel, Belle, and Jasmine. There's a real theme here. He also animated Mickey Mouse in Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Who we haven't seen in that movie yet.
I wasn't able to catch a glimpse of him, but apparently he's in there.
Okay.
Mulan's speaking voice was provided by Ming-Na Wen, who many people know from ER, and she plays Agent Melinda May on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's fabulous.
She's wonderful.
I highly encourage all of you to follow her on Instagram because she's really very inspirational. And Mulan's singing voice was provided by Lea Salonga, who is, of course, a Disney legend. And she performed in many, many, many Broadway shows, including originating the role of Kim in Miss Saigon.
Oh my gosh.
For which she won a Tony.
Yeah, at like age 16 or something.
By the way, side note.
Yeah.
If any of you out there have not seen the documentary Making Miss Saigon, please watch it immediately.
Oh, man.
Because when they discover her, it's one of those goosebump-inducing moments where you realize like magic is happening.
Yeah, I was watching that and then I didn't know that I was crying at the time. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh, how am I crying?
It's a very magical moment to witness.
Yeah.
She also provided the singing voice for Jasmine in Aladdin.
I love that.
again, I have to say this. Reflection. The song Reflection, right? Mulan sings an incredible ballad.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Made incredibly famous by one Miss Christina Aguilera. But the film version is so beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's actually superior to Christina Aguilera's version.
I agree. Mulan is based on a Chinese legend, which was made famous by a 360-word poem written in the Northern Wei Dynasty, which was from 386 to 534 AD by an anonymous poet.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. In the poem, Mulan uses her father's name, Li, and not the name Ping, as she does in the animated film. And in the poem, Patrick, she's never discovered as a girl.
Oh,
so she does all of these incredibly brave things, and no one ever realizes that she is a girl. But in the animated film, of course, she sacrifices everything, right? Her father is called to serve in the army because the Huns are invading China.
Of course.
But her father has a leg injury from a previous battle and is older. And so she disguises herself as a man or as a boy and goes off to fight in his place.
That's right.
So it's kind of like the ultimate sacrifice. She is essentially giving over her own life for her father's.
Exactly. And she's also sort of rejecting this stereotype that women have to be very submissive in her culture and that her only job is to marry a man. And so it's not actually a difficult decision for her to join the army because she wants to get out of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she wants to go off to fight.
No, that's not what I meant. But I mean, it didn't make it that much more difficult because she wanted to prove that a woman can also be just as brave as a man can.
Right, especially since just prior to her joining the army, she kind of had this humiliating experience with a matchmaker, right? Like everything went wrong.
Yeah.
She felt like she was dishonoring her family. It was not only running away from the kind of shame she brought upon her family, the perceived shame, but she also wanted to save her father. So there were several reasons why she needed to get out of town, so
exactly.
to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Dan, my husband, is going to love that you chose Mulan. I think this is maybe his favorite Disney movie ever.
It's a really beautiful film to look at because the animators really embraced that kind of Chinese watercolor painting. And from what I understand researching this, originally the film was going to be much more detailed, and the animators really pulled it back because they wanted to embrace the heritage of the story.
Yeah, for sure.
And I won't go into it, but there were several technological advancements that needed to be made to make this movie possible. When you see the sequences in the Forbidden City and all those people, I mean, that was technology advancing like 12 steps in order to get all of that to happen. But it is a phenomenal film. Of course, Mulan is the bravest, in my opinion. She's the most heroic.
Oh, yeah.
But now, Patrick.
Yeah.
Now it's your time to shine.
Uh-oh.
Because I want to hear your number one Fab Five hero.
So I stand by my number one, but I am not going to continue the parade of celebrated women that we have brought out for our listeners. My number one is Hercules from the movie Hercules.
I knew it was going to be Hercules when it wasn't Mulan.
Oh,
because
okay.
you were alluding to like, it's kind of obvious, right?
Yeah,
like it's going to
yeah.
be like a hero,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so Hercules. Tell me about Hercules.
Okay, so Hercules was voiced by Tate Donovan.
So hot.
He's great. He was, of course, in Manchester by the Sea, Good Night and Good Luck, and obviously he played Joshua in
On
Friends.
Yes, Joshua.
Oh, I love that. And his singing voice was Roger Bart from The Stepford Wives, the producers, both on Broadway and in the movie. And he also won a Tony for playing Snoopy in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown on Broadway.
Love Roger Bart.
He's amazing. Fantastic. The supervising animator for Hercules was Andreas Deha, who worked on Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and Aladdin, just to name a few. So Hercules, of course, is through and through a hero. He was born the son of the Greek gods Zeus and Hera. His gift, of course, is strength. And early on in the movie, he's torn from his family by Hades and turned into a human, mostly. He still keeps part of his strength, but he is no longer allowed to live with the gods. He's adopted by a farmer and his wife, and he's raised on Earth. It's very Superman.
It's very Superman.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, really, Superman is very Hercules, is what we should be saying.
That's fair. On Earth, of course, like I said, he still has most of his strength, but he doesn't know how to harness it, which makes him a bit of an outcast in his village. So even though he doesn't fit in, he's still very helpful. He just wants to find his path in the world, as most heroes are wont to do, but nobody wants to be a part of him because he accidentally ruins everything. He goes on what is the quintessential hero cycle, right? Like he has a journey to make. He has some pitfalls and some learning to do, and he ultimately becomes the hero that he wants to be. He figures out who he truly is, and then he goes on this quest to become a hero and join his family again in the heavens, I guess, for lack of a better word. And of course, you can't talk about Hercules or the movie without mentioning the Muses.
I bow down. Bow down.
They're maybe one of the best musical parts of any Disney musical I've ever heard.
The music in Hercules is phenomenal.
Yeah, and of course, we're talking about associating a hero with the song, and I Can Go the Distance is one of the greatest songs, I'm going to say, in any movie.
It's not long enough in the film. I want more of it in the film. And it's so truncated, and like it's just his kind of like teenager voice singing it. I want the full version.
Yeah.
And not the Michael Bolton version. I want a full character version.
No one wants that. No one wants that. Again, this is another great song to run to. Like the line, I know every mile will be worth my while is such an inspirational runner's song. I love it. Anyways, not to talk about that anymore. But so Hercules, how do you not love Hercules as a hero? He's just perfect.
Yes, and he falls in love with the incredible character Meg, who is voiced by Susan Egan.
That's right, who we got to see in the Broadway Princess Party.
That's right, Broadway's original Belle. There's so much talent in that film. Danny DeVito. Yeah, it's an incredible cast, and you're absolutely right to choose Hercules. He is a true hero.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what scene just absolutely underlines the fact that he's a hero? It's when he loses all his powers, and yet he still goes off to fight the Titans, which Hades has released. He's still willing to do that, and Meg is like, no, you're going to die. You know, like, you're human now, and he's still willing to do that. That makes him a hero.
So for me, to build on that, my moment where I think he truly becomes a hero is when he sacrifices his life to save Meg. He knows that this might be it for him. He's never going to see his family again, and yet he does it anyways. And I think that's when he really learns what a hero is sacrifice. Do you know what I mean? So both examples are great.
Yeah, mine's better, but yours is pretty good too.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Another fun and sexy fact about Hercules is that the Spanish version, he was voiced by Ricky Martin.
Oh my!
He did.
Shake your bonbon.
He shook his bonbon. He went the distance. He did both the speaking and the singing voice.
Oh, that's interesting. Have you seen any clips from it on YouTube?
No, but I want to.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like pour a glass of wine, turn the lights down, put a candle on, send Dan to the store, and just listen.
Wow, you're getting real intimate with some drawings.
Every mile is worth my while with Ricky Martin. What a roller coaster of heroes we've gone through.
I really liked my selections.
Oh.
No, yours are fantastic too. I love that, as you said before, we did not cross streams in this Fab Five list.
That's true. I think that means that we are becoming less and less friends.
How dare you? How very dare you?
Yes.
I think it's very telling that a majority of our heroes were women. I think it's very obvious that a majority of heroes are women.
It's true. Like I said, my list was like 10 long, and there were a lot more women on that list. Rapunzel was one of them I was going to put on there. I mean, there's so many. Tiana.
And I think it really speaks to what Disney's doing, that many of our heroes were women and that they have come out recently in films.
And women of color as well, which is fantastic, which I am so excited to see that Disney is doing that more and more. It's not just sort of a whitewashing of characters. It's everyone around the world.
So if you have a hero that you think we left off our lists, we'd love to hear about it. You can, of course, reach out to us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can email us at info@gaysdothed.com. I need a hero. Pew, pew.
Patrick,
Yas, Adam.
it's time.
For what?
Leftover birthday cake.
Num-nums.
I know you're hiding it from me upstairs.
I really am.
But first, let's do some Quick D, and then we'll go have some cake.
Okay.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know, Quick D is when Patrick and I ask each other a question which we have not been privy to prior to recording. This is totally off the cuff. This is totally loosey-goosey.
Yeah, it's a
Who
D
knows?
coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, who knows what we're going to say?
No one knows.
So Patrick,
Yes?
are you ready for your Quick D?
Hit me with some quick D.
You're full of good tunes tonight.
Thank you.
Classic 80s hits. Okay, Patrick.
Yas.
Here's your Quick D question.
Okay.
Let's say Walt Disney comes back to life for one day
Oh,
for his birthday. What one attraction are you going to take him on to show him what his legacy has built? You can only take him on. He comes back to life.
Yeah.
Here's Walt Disney.
Yeah.
What one attraction that he did not ride prior to his death
Uh-huh.
are you going to take him on to be like, look what you created, Walt? You may not have created this ride, but your legacy led to this.
The People Mover.
I think they actually had the People Mover when he was alive in Disneyland.
So something else then. That just popped into my head. Okay, so I have to come up with a new one now because People Mover
You know what?
is wrong.
A great choice.
Thank you so
and I'm
much.
sure Walt would appreciate it, but he would have been like, I came back to life for this.
Seen it. He'd look at me and go, seen it. I'd be like, okay. I can't do that very well.
You tried and you failed.
Okay.
Oh, I need water. I need water.
This is such good material for
Oh
the
my
podcast.
gosh, people are going to love this.
Okay. I think everyone wants me to say Avatar Flight of Passage,
Okay, sure.
but I want to take him on the ride that brings me the most joy, which is Dinosaur.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he would love this.
Yeah, I'm going to scare the ass out of him on Dinosaur because that is a scurry ride.
It is a scurry ride, but you know he loved dinosaurs, obviously, because he had them in an attraction at the World's Fair.
And mostly I just want to be on a ride that Walt Disney poops out of fear on. And,
Sure.
that ride's going to be Dinosaur. Because when that dinosaur starts running and chasing you, I scream every single time, though I know that dinosaurs are no longer around.
Do you think he would smoke a cigarette while he was riding the ride?
I insist that he does.
Do you think he'd have like a vodka gimlet or something with him while he rode the ride?
He won't, because I'll have it in my hand, because I'll have drank mine, taken his.
Oh, I don't think Walt Disney's going to stand for that.
It's true. He might slap me a little bit. It'll be worth it, though.
Do you think he's going to be extremely surprised at how much he's jostled about in the ride vehicle?
Oh, he'll be very surprised. That ride vehicle is such good entertainment. I love that ride so much. I can't talk about it enough.
Do you think he's going to wish he was dead again because the ride is so terrifying?
He might go, wait, dinosaurs were around when I was alive. They're still here?
That is not a fact. That is not a fact.
Yep, 117 years ago, dinosaurs ruled the earth. You didn't know that?
Maybe in some Bibles.
That's why they're so dear. Oh dear. That's why they're so realistic looking, because they're actual replicas from Disney's memory. Nope.
None of these are facts.
Oh.
You're spewing lies.
These are alternate facts,
Yeah.
and I stand by them.
Yeah, let's not embrace that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Not on this podcast.
This took a turn.
You know what? You're about to lose a podcast, buddy.
Don't do it. Don't do it. So my answer is Dinosaur because I want Disney to poop next to me.
Would you sell his poop on eBay afterwards? You know that would fetch a pretty penny.
I would.
Also, what would be in dead Walt Disney's poop?
A lot of dust.
Yeah, like there wouldn't be much there.
A hidden Mickey.
There definitely would be a hidden Mickey in Walt Disney's poop.
Gross. We should stop saying poop probably.
Poop.
Now.
Poop.
Uh-oh. Okay, Adam.
My turd. Oh, my turn. I can't stop it. I can't stop it.
I'm going to slap you.
Yeah.
So, Adam, here's a funny thing. My question also starts with Walt Disney is alive again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Magic.
they've unthawed him.
Okay. Yeah,
And-
just his head, but yeah.
Yeah, which probably lives in the dinosaur ride.
Probably.
Yeah. So he's alive, and you know what, Adam? He's mad.
No, why?
He's real mad.
Uncle Walt, why?
There's a ride in Walt Disney World somewhere that he does not like, and he wants you to point it out to him, and they're going to remove it that day. What ride are you removing? Go.
Is this really your question?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we both came up with a Walt Disney question.
I know. That's why I laughed real hard at the beginning of your question.
Okay. So I need to choose a ride to remove, or Walt's going to be so mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm removing a ride. Any ride?
Any attraction.
Oh, okay. Bye, Mission Space. Bye-bye.
Rip it out. Rip it right out of there.
Get it out of there. You know what?
Interesting.
I'm gonna tell you something, Patrick.
Tell me all about it.
I don't even need Walt Disney to come back and get mad at me if I don't rip out Mission Space.
Yeah.
I want Mission Space gone.
Oh, but he loves space research.
I love space research too. That ride is not space research. That ride is a tummy ache and disorientation.
Fair. That's fair enough.
And previously it was Gary Sinise.
Yeah, they ripped him right out of that ride.
Looking cross at you
Yeah.
and giving you instructions and kind of looking maybe a little hungover. Did he party too hard the night before? I don't know, something.
Yeah, but they've replaced him.
But they replaced him.
It's better.
That part is better.
Mm-hmm.
Still spinny. I mean, I went on the green side 2 trips ago, and I still was feeling a little queasy getting off that. I mean, you're still staring at that tiny screen.
Yeah.
You're very enclosed.
Yeah.
It's very warm.
Yeah.
You're relying on strangers to get you safely around the planet in the green version.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to look at, but it's too enclosed
Yeah.
and makes me feel ishy.
Oh, you're a very fragile person, Adam.
I'm not that fragile. You know what? A lot of people have problems with that ride.
Well, a lot of people are wrong.
I went on the orange side once. I will never do it again.
I love the orange side.
Oh my gosh.
I like getting off a ride and falling into a wall
And just puking.
and just throwing up on a kid.
No, that ride for me would absolutely be gone. What would you choose?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's right. I'm throwing this D right back in your face.
I don't like when my D gets thrown back at me.
Take it.
Oh dear. I would choose. I'm gonna burn down Test Track.
No, you're not.
I am. I do not like Test Track. I think it is the most overrated ride in the world. I said it. Here's my address. You can send me some hate mail. Just kidding. Don't send me hate mail. I don't like it. I know it's a lot of people's favorites, but I think it's just like I can sit in my own car with the windows open and have just as fun of a time.
Patrick,
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from. I'm questioning our friendship.
Okay.
See, for me, Test Track is all about the last 5 seconds, right? When you
Yeah.
exit the building,
Yeah,
the show building. And I realize you're going like, what, 60 miles an hour?
Mm-hmm.
It seems faster.
Yeah, I go 60 miles an hour like down an alleyway. So,
But it seems fast and it's open air and you're in Epcot. And I mean, magic. It's magic.
is it being in a car is magic? How old are you?
Wait.
What are these automobiles?
Speaking of auto attractions that need to go by the wayside, Tomorrowland Speedway, get out of here. Autopia, bye. I mean, switch to electric cars.
It's true. Gasoline Alley is terrible.
Okay, we'll test back to Test Track.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
I respect your opinion.
Thank you.
I appreciate and validate your choice.
Listen, it's in a place called Future World, and they're going to bring you to a future world that has cars that go 60 miles an hour.
Someday it's going to happen, Patrick. Someday.
That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. Ratings and reviews are greatly appreciated and help people find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, and Stitcher. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast and on our website at gaysdothed.com. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.